All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Jason Zone Fisher, and thank you for tuning in to SLiC Presents Who Got Game. Tonight is our premiere episode because the NBA season is about to tip off in just a couple of hours. We cannot wait. We are going to be your first and last stop when it comes to all things NBA fantasy this season. We'll be here all throughout the upcoming NBA season, talking trash, giving you the lowdown on everything sports, lifestyle, and culture, both on and off the court. And none of this would be possible without my co-host, the man who needs no introduction, BD, B. Diddy, Baron Davis. Baron, what's up, man? Can you see me? We got the tech figured out. How you doing?
Man, did you get your Wi-Fi fix from earlier this afternoon when you was trying to go Instagram live with me and promote this? It was super janky, dude.
It was.
Super janky.
Hopefully we got all those technical kinks worked out. We're going to see how this goes because we are coming to you live and direct right now from Los Angeles and all over
the country. Are we live?
Yeah, we're live. This is live.
Where are we live at?
We are live right now on Twitch, on social media, at SLiC Studios. Yes, that's right. I know. This is big time, BD.
Now, hey, you look good, Zone. You look good. You look good.
I appreciate it. You look pretty good yourself, too. You clean up nice. Now, you obviously know a lot about the NBA. You're a former All-Star, a player, a baller. But what do you know about fantasy basketball?
This is my first time playing. This is my first time playing to finish. I played like 3 years ago, and I got into a fantasy game in a league with my homeboys, and they were like, just figure it out. And that is not something that I could do on like a Yahoo or ESPN or, like them platforms. I couldn't figure it out.
Oh.
So when I got on Sleeper, because I do fantasy football, I'm in the championship, by the way. I beat a lot of people that we will feature tonight. But Sleeper helped me figure it out. So I'm in. Now we doing the podcast. We got the show. You know what I mean? I got some victims in basketball. I get to put my GM mentality, oh my gosh, to basketball. You know what I mean?
Right, man.
Are you in the league, Jason?
Am I in the league?
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. It's like I'm playing, I'm playing by myself.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We're going to see your squad, and everyone can judge for themselves how they think you're going to do. You're a rookie all over again when it comes to fantasy basketball. Your first time starting and finishing a league. And you've assembled an all-star lineup, a cast of characters here in our fantasy league. And we're going to be meeting most of them tonight and showing all our teams. But running our league is our commissioner, Trey Edwards. Trey, what is up, man? Now, being the commissioner, yeah, a lot of responsibility comes with being the commissioner of this league. As you can tell, it's not easy to wrangle this group. What is the toughest challenge you're going to have as commissioner of this SLiC fantasy basketball league?
First of all, I want to say no one man should have all that power. But realistically, man, I'll be doing the willing and dealing. Don't worry. I won't be blocking any trades for CP3 to the Lakers. We're going to have fun. Just make sure that you don't trade all your players to Baron and that Baron finishes last.
Hey, come on, dude. Why everybody want to hate on me, dude? Let me. Why did you want to become the commish?
Well, it's an opportunity. I never played fantasy basketball before. And also, I get to trash talk with you. I already had played in a sleeper football league. And I'm in a championship right now, getting ready to take that chip. So I want to take another trophy from you. And also, make sure that no one gave you an opportunity to get to the championship by cheating.
Okay. Well, you guys are talking a lot about fantasy football. And I want to bring in our next co-host and our next member of the league, because this is someone who knows a lot about fantasy football. You may know her as the head of the Draft Network. She's my go-to source for everything fantasy football. I'm talking about Paige DeMacos. Paige, when it comes to fantasy basketball, what's your confidence level at?
Listen, I don't know if you guys know this, but I played basketball, so I feel pretty confident about this. I come from a hoops family. My dad coached junior college. My brother's a D1 basketball player. I played in college, so I'm feeling pretty good. I think everyone kind of forgets that I'm 5'11" and can throw down for myself. So I'm ready to play. I'm ready to rock, and I'm taking all my knowledge and everything that I've learned playing fantasy football for a long time. First time ever, never played fantasy basketball. So really excited to do it. And Sleeper set us up so nicely with the way they have everything broken out that it's my hesitations for playing were always, there was way too many times that I had to log in and do everything. But the way they have it set up is really easy. So good for busy people like myself who are also trying to win a fantasy football championship at the same time.
That's right.
Yeah,
I think
Paige, and I had a question. Unless you want to just take all the questions, I thought I was the co-host, Jay. Can I throw a question in there, huh?
Yeah,
what's up, Paige?
Go for it.
Hey,
what's up?
Being the CEO, right? And I want to congratulate you as a woman founder, entrepreneur in the sports space. Having one of the largest podcast networks and intelligent network as far as, knowing fantasy football, knowing sports, knowing gambling, right? Just talk about like the future of, fantasy sports in your eyes and where you see, programs and shows like this going.
Man, it's been first and foremost, thank you. Awesome to be joining the crew and be represented for all my women in sports. So always feels good to be representing and showing out for my Draft Network crew. But I think fantasy football and fantasy sports in general, fantasy basketball, fantasy baseball, fantasy hockey, it's all got room to grow. I think, what I've seen over the last 10 years has been podcasts, videos, premium offerings, mock draft simulators, apps. I mean, you name it, it's available and it's growing. And one of the coolest features that I've been able to partake in is being a part of Sleeper and watching how they've been able to kind of capture what I would say more of the casual fantasy player in general that wants to kind of, step their toes in, figure out if it's something for them. And I think that's why I'm excited to play this year, because I haven't played fantasy basketball. So this is a good way to kind of, figure out what I like, what I don't like, and have an opportunity to compete. Because at the end of the day, everybody wants to win, right? So if it's too hard, if it's over your head, that makes it hard to attract new people and new users. And so I think with, everybody spending a little bit more time at home with how things are right now currently in the world, and probably for Q1 and Q2 of 2021, I think people should be excited, man, for playing fantasy sports.
Absolutely.
And I think there's only room to grow.
Yeah, and
That's
it's
right.
sort of like, I think Sleeper was made for someone like me because, remember I started, my first fantasy football, playing in the Sleeper app. And, Paige, you've seen me grow, from a rookie, right, my rookie year when I went to the championship and lost, to now I'm like, I am not only one of the lead engineers and creating trades, right? But I always, start from the bottom to the top. And so how does it feel to be going up in a league with all these guys? You got Black Trey from Count the Dings, you got J Zone, you got Hoops and Brew guys, Pavy and TJ, you know what I mean? But we both rookies in this business, right?
Yeah.
Are you afraid of any of these dudes and like their basketball like expertise or any of that?
Barron set me up well because we're good friends, right? He knows I will never back down from anything. So that was what it's called, putting it on a tee for me to just hit it out of the park. No, I'm not afraid of any of these dudes. I respect all of you, but I am not afraid of any of you. Will bring the competitiveness each and every week, and I plan to put some bets out there each and every week. I plan to try and put some things on the line, because I think I've told you guys I play in what is a crazy fantasy football league that involves people getting tattoos when they lose and doing all sorts of crazy stuff. So I'm in. I'm ready to rock. I'm not afraid of anybody, and although I'm the rook, I feel like I might be like a Luka Doncic type of rookie that comes in and feels pretty good about themselves, or maybe a little bit under the wire. And I was a big fan of it and tried to get Phoenix to jump on board, but they didn't listen to me. Team Luka forever. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, guys. I'm excited.
I like the swagger.
Okay, yeah, we like that trash talk. You keep it coming. We'll see. And I like the idea of backing it up with something too. We're going to have a lot of side bets, side wagers, maybe some stakes throughout the season. We're going to get into all that. But as BD and Paige just mentioned, our fantasy league is powered by the Sleeper app, and it's a really unique setup. And we have someone who's normally behind the scenes, but he's our resident Sleeper app expert. So we're going to bring Zach in real quick. Zach, can you give us a little bit of a lowdown on how our league is set up through the Sleeper app?
And then, of course, his damn microphone don't work. I told you don't put this dude on camera, man. He is not ready
No, it's working now.
for the prime time. Okay, here we are with, this guy wrote me in the Sleeper, and he's a fantasy nerd. He claims to be like one of the top fantasy players in the world. I feel like he becomes the commissioner and finesses. You know what I mean? He jigged me out of a fucking playoff win because he set the basketball right before my line. Go ahead, dude. Go ahead. We're gonna have to replace this dude, man, because he can't have cheaters on us.
You're a little upset that I took you down in your first year.
Come on, Zach.
See, I told production, Zach is not ready for the prime time.
All right, Zach. We're bearing with you with your technical difficulties here. Audio's a little choppy. Yeah, I don't know where you're coming from, Zach, but we might save you from being ridiculed by Barron any longer. Anyway.
No, we're going to eat his ass up. We live. We're going to eat you up till you turn your mic on, Zach.
Zach, try one more time. Say what's up.
Can you guys hear me? Good.
Yes.
We can hear you.
Yeah, Barron, you're just a little upset that I took you down in fantasy football. I understand. But happy to give it a go in basketball. I think you'll have a little advantage. It's season long with weekly matchups, just like football. We got 17 weeks of regular season, and then we got those playoffs for 3 weeks, and I'm prepared to try to take you down in those.
We didn't ask about your personal or how you personally feel. Your job is to be the sweeper, techie. You're supposed to tell us how this shit goes. Hey, you see, there's a problem right there. You can tell he was cheating. You can tell. He comes on and he just goes right after me every time, dude. This is for the fans, buddy.
So here we go. You've got 17 weeks in the regular season, and you got 3 weeks in the playoffs. In normal fantasy basketball, you usually have a huge advantage if you have more games in a week as opposed to your opponent. Sleepers figured out how to fix that with this new function called game pick. That means each team's GM needs to pick which game counts for each of your players in your lineup. So it's a lot more strategy in this. You have to take into account your pace of your opponents, individual matchups. You may not want to start someone who's being chased around by one of the best defenders in the league. Amount of rest before games, some back-to-backs, or even that revenge game factor.
All right, Zach, that's what I was looking for. Thank you very much. That is what makes the Sleeper app so unique. Yes, took a little while to get there, but we got it out of you. What's really cool is it takes everything that we love about a season-long format where you draft a team, you ride or die with these guys, you make trades, you pick up guys off the waiver wire, but it has all the strategy involved from daily fantasy where you pick one game per week that you want to ride your guys with and get those points. So I'm really excited to get into that strategy. Now, we had our draft. 14 teams are a part of our league. We had it over the weekend, and it went pretty much how this is going too. Why don't you guys just check this out and you'll see a little recap of our inaugural fantasy draft.
What's up, Jay?
What's up, BD? I'm pumped for this fantasy basketball. This is going to be a great season, and we're about to get the draft started right now. Let's hand it off to Black Trey, our commissioner, to welcome us and officially get this draft underway.
Are we ready? Everybody got the questions in. Good. Keep the trash talk going because we keep it hood. Begin.
That was a beautiful speech, Black Trey. Thank you. Noah, you're up with the first pick.
Giannis. I pick Giannis.
All right, second pick.
Second pick is in with Luka Doncic.
All right, third pick. Jerry Ferrara took LeBron. Pablo Torre, I think he has no idea that the draft is taking place right now. Taking Joker.
Nice pick.
He does it all.
Oh, gosh! How did I let that go?
Y'all draft slow, man.
You already know who I'm about to take.
Age is about to take who you want.
Oh, he took my pick.
That's who I knew it.
He took my pick.
You acting like Mike Bibby at pickup.
Oh, my God. I hate Paige.
Just for BD.
She was about to take my pick. I was about to be mad as hell.
Lord have mercy. Noah, don't pick no more.
Kemba.
Oh, Kemba out.
He hurt.
Wow, Noah.
Damn, that was my bad. Man, your team is hooping these schools.
Lonzo.
Hey, dude.
Damn, I was going to do that shit.
First rookie off the board.
Damn it. Who took Marcus Smart?
Now the draft's moving.
Oh, he did it. I wanted to know who was going to do that.
I got the best team here. I'm just letting y'all know.
I'll see y'all in the chat.
Well, as you can see, that went off the rails real quick. I mean, Paige, you were stealing BD's picks right off the jump. And
All
welcome
day.
in Pavy and Buster, two more league managers. They just joined us as well. Welcome, guys. Thank you for being a part of this. BD, let's take a look at your team, what you ended up with, because I know a lot of your guys you wanted ended up on Paige's squad. So let's take a look at how your team shaped out. And what are we thinking, guys? What are we thinking about BD's squad?
Hey, okay. Can I break my team down real quick? What I was going for? Okay, so I wanted to go with an MVP candidate, right? In AD, right? So AD, we know double blocks, a high percentage of field goals, threes, free throws. Then I wanted to go with Nikolai Vujic, right? And because he's a 20-20 guy, once a week, he going to get you 20-20. Then I start to anchor myself with DeMar, right? And now Kyrie coming back. Kyrie got a chip on his shoulder. You know what I mean? He got a chip on his shoulder. He's saving the whole space down. You know what I mean? Like, that's working to his advantage. So he going to be more high on the points and also the assists, because every time you pass the ball, you pass the ball to Durant or he throwing a lob. So, I mean, shit. And then you got Dinwiddie on there. You got DeRozan. You got Bobo. You got LaMelo. I mean, I'm anchored, bro. I'm all the way.
Okay. Well, you drafted a lot of rookies, too. You
Fire
drafted a
away.
lot of rookies. 4 rookies on BD's squad. LaMelo Ball, Obi Toppin, Halliburton, and one more guy there, too. I want to know to the group, who do you think is going to be the best rookie this season and have the biggest impact in fantasy basketball?
I think Obi Toppin's a sleeper. Watch out for him in New York. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a Knicks fan, but watch out for Obi. He also has the second highest Vegas odds to win Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, who picked him?
Yeah,
I put my list up again.
Yeah. BD got Obi. BD got Obi.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, thanks, Buster.
It's looking pretty good.
He's an expert.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Okay. Now,
Black Trey, who do you pick for Rookie of the Year?
Well, I think
it's a toss up between Tyrese Halliburton and Obi Toppin.
Can you pull my list up again, please?
Yeah.
Who's on my list?
Both of them.
Okay.
That's right. Yeah, you got both of them. You got
I ain't
a lot of
doing
rookies.
too bad.
You got a lot of rookies. Oh, and Okongwu too, the kid from USC.
Big O from LA. I have to go my home. Love Big O.
I liked him, man. I liked him. That was a good pick for you. A lot of rookies. You're going to be hoping that all rookie team is your fantasy basketball squad this year. Now, your team would have looked a little bit different if Paige wasn't sniping all your picks like Devin Booker and Lonzo Ball. Paige, let's check out your team and tell me, how are you feeling about your squad?
I'm really disappointed that I couldn't be on the live stream now, knowing and seeing all those reactions that Barron had to me sniping him. So really disappointed that I didn't get to actually talk trash to him face to face. But listen, guys, I think for me, I was just going, okay, this is my first time. I'm going to go off of, what I know and what I've been paying attention to. And I live in Phoenix, so I was going with my guy Book. I think with the addition of Chris Paul, I'm really excited to see what Devin does this year. And I think he's going to be fantasy monster. So wanted to make sure, very much like in fantasy football, I rounded out with some good depth, right? Made sure early on I was looking at positions and making sure that I was fulfilling everything. It's the same strategy I use in fantasy football. So listen, James Harden, I need him playing and I need him focused. So that's my big I had Christian McCaffrey this year, who was #1 overall and was a big old bust because of his injury. I need James locked in. So that's my one concern here is like my first overall pick, man. James, bro, I need you playing, and I need all of the points. So hopefully that's what we get from James this upcoming season.
Yeah, for sure. Already a lot of turmoil in Houston with James Harden. We'll see.
Hey, Pavy has a horrible team. Shout out to my boys from Hoops and Brew. Hey, you did a good job because that was the team that I was a couple of people I wanted. Pavy from Hoops and Brew, one of the top podcasts out here. Pavy was basically throwing Hail Marys the whole night. Do we have his team? Gee.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get to Pavy's team. We're gonna get to Pavy's team in a minute, but
okay.
First, I want to go to Black Trey. I want to go to Trey now.
Oh my gosh!
Now,
haters gonna hate, man. Haters gonna hate, bro. You are such a hater, man.
Trey, before
my
even get to your team, as the commissioner, I want to know your unbiased opinion. Who do you think of all the managers has the best squad, top to bottom, 1 through 14?
All right. So based on analytics, Pavy has the best team. My personal opinion,
exactly.
Jerry Ferrara has the best team, in my personal opinion.
But here's Jerry's team.
Jerry Ferrara.
This is Jerry Ferrara's team. So tell me why you think this is the best squad.
He surrounded his guys. I think his utility guys are going to help him the most. And obviously the cheat mostly is LeBron being able to play 5 positions pretty much.
Yeah.
And most of those guys can fill it in, and I think with how Sleeper set up, which you're setting up one game a week, it's going to work in his favor, with some of these players.
Okay. All right. Well, real quickly, let's take a look
They got a lot of
team.
shooters.
Because Trey, the analytics on Sleeper say that the projections, you have the worst team.
Absolutely.
I told you
that.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that I'm gonna say the analytics.
I told you. Man, I told you. I told you.
All right, well, you better hope not. This is your squad
Hey,
right here.
Trey has a very Compton GM.
Listen,
he is jaded by the fact that he gotta sometimes keep it 100.
Here we go. I got Dame Lillard with my first pick. I went with Bam Adebayo, who's going to be Defensive Player of the Year. I got Jaylen Brown, who's going to have an All-Star year. I got Al Horford, who's going to reinvent himself in Oklahoma. I got Kelly Oubre, who's going to be.
That's where you caught me.
Here we go. Then we got Kelly Oubre.
Kelly Oubre, good.
Kelly Oubre has something to prove. Danilo Gallinari is going to spend his money in Atlanta, not at the strip club, but in the buckets. I got Marvin Bagley on a comeback season. Shout outs to Toast working him out in sack.
I want to see that.
Carmelo Anthony has something to prove. Jordan Clarkson, he got paid. Let's
he was killing too. He was filling it up.
Gary Trent, he has some motivation to get paid as well. Patrick Williams, I'm a Bulls fan, so I wanted to roll with him. Eric Gordon, him coming off the bench, I have him as 6th man of the year. Matisse Thybulle could do it all, plays the passing lane, could block, give me some steals. I think he'll be beneficial in that. And then Dwight Howard was my Mr. Irrelevant.
Okay, well, you better hope the projections
are relevant.
Yeah, nice. Now, Real quick here, all you guys, your teams are looking okay, but you're playing for second place because let's show my team. This is a squad, well-rounded, top to bottom.
And where did you finish on the analytics board, Jason?
Yeah, no, I'm not going off the analytics board. This is just, you can tell. There's no denying it.
Real life basketball right here.
I mean, look at this. Look at this. These guys just do everything. You got the Joker, Jason Tatum, Bradley Beal in the third round. Come on, that's like where you're taking out Horford. Oh, my God. So, yeah, John Wall's coming back.
Hey, dude, you took my Cole Anthony, dude. I ought to kick your ass for that.
That's
I
right.
like Cole.
You can't take Markelle Fultz, then Cole Anthony. That was not cool. I'm trading you for him, though.
Bring it. Send the trade request my way. We're going to be doing trades. And Poku, he's a sleeper pick for me, the rookie from Oklahoma City. You're going to know his name later. We'll all know how to pronounce it because I still don't yet. Now, we're going to get back to, we're going to show all the rest of the squads in a little bit because we don't have time to show them all right now, but we've got some great teams and we're going to get back to that in just a second. But you never know who's going to stop by, who got game. All sorts of guests are going to be coming throughout the league, and today is no exception because we've got someone great in store for you right here. BD, can you tell us who got game with us here today?
Man, I'm going to tell you why this dude has game, right? I've known him pretty much since 13 on the AAU circuit. I watched this dude and this AAU team go 3 years in a row without losing a game until they lost to our team. McDonald's All-American. I would say, he is my East Coast spirit brother and spirit animal in basketball. When you talk about a defender, when you talk about a basketball player, right? This dude scores it, passes it, defends, rebounds, intelligence out of this world. You know what I mean? It was like, I mean, without a heart of gold, right? That far beyond, that far beyond shoots past his character and any accolades that he ever achieved. An NBA champion, my brother, Metta, world peace. What's up, my dog?
DD, what's good, baby?
I can keep going on and on and on. Rucker Park legend. You know what I mean? Rucker Park legend. Like this dude, the night before the draft, I was like, he was right down the hall and we was like knocking on each other's doors, playing ding dong dicks. We was bored as hell. It was almost like quarantine. What's up, dog?
Yo, my guy, I was watching. That seems like a lot of fun, man.
We got to get you in.
I know, man. I was like, damn. Y'all seem like y'all was getting it in, man. Everything's good. It's good to be here, man. SLiC TV, what's good?
What's happening, man?
Metta? Metta, have you ever done fantasy basketball before?
Yo, I've never played fantasy in my life. I see it on Twitter and all these places, but I've never once played. I don't even know how to start.
I got to ask both of you guys. I mean, obviously, you both had incredible NBA careers as players. When you were playing, what did you think of fantasy basketball? Because I'm sure there were, fans in the stands yelling at you, I need one more assist or one more rebound or worried about their squad. Like, what were your feelings as players about fantasy?
I don't know. When I first heard about it, after a game, you go home or something, and somebody was like, when it first started, they would say, man, you're doing really well on fantasy. But then towards the end of my career, nobody was mentioning me no more.
Yeah. Now you hear how we're talking about these late
I used to feel like people were like haggling me or something or heckling me. Like, yo, I got you on my fantasy. I'm like, yo, what the fuck do that mean? So they're like, no, you're playing good. You're playing good. I'm like, I had no idea like what fantasy was. And now that I am a fantasy owner, I feel like, like I am so attached to the players. So, I apologize to all the people, 4, 5, 6 years ago that I may have cussed out if they said that I fucked up their fantasy.
Because now you're doing the same thing. You're going to be yelling at guys all season long. The same thing.
Oh, yeah.
So how does it work? Like you pick one game out of a 7-game week You just pick the best game?
So, in any given week, like the Bucks may play 4 games, but the Cavs may play 2 games. So Sleeper came up with a way, instead of, to even the playing field, you draft your team, but you just pick 1 game every week that you want to start your guys. So, I'm sure maybe you had a game in New York in the Garden, and you'd maybe get up for that. It's like, oh, I want to start Metta this game because he's going to bring a little extra something. So you're taking all the strategy of who the matchups are, who's going to be guarding you, who you're going up against, all of that, and you lock in your team 1 game per week who you're going to start.
That sounds really good. So what happens what happens, like, can you play? There's a Sleeper app. What is that? It's multiple apps that do fantasy. And you can have multiple leagues in the app.
So yeah, you can basically start your own league, and it's basically starting a chat. So your group chat gets to own this fantasy league, and so it's you get to chat, you get to send up emojis, all that. I mean, it's cool, but you get to compete against each other at the same time in fantasy. So the cool thing about the app that I like is the same shit we talking here, we talking in the chat on the app. You know what I mean? So, it kind of build this fun interaction, and somebody like myself who would have never, ever, ever done any fantasy, I'm addicted to it. That's because it's just cool for interacting, dog. It's good. It's just good for talking shit.
I heard so many people would be talking big about it. I got to get up on it. So the Sleeper app is the way to go?
Yes, sir.
For sure.
And the Sleeper app will be dope for what you building, man. So I wanted to get into basketball. Let's just ask you a few basketball questions, because we have to, because this is fantasy basketball. But where would you say you had the most fun where you played?
Man, the most fun? I mean, I would say Indiana. It was because I was playing so well. But I had so much fun in Indiana. Yeah, but then obviously
that's not a sentence you hear people say that often. I had so much fun in Indiana. People don't say that too often, but for you, for sure.
We had a squad.
No, we had a squad. We had a good coach. We had Rick Adams. He's Barry. He's every possession play caller versus other coaches. But but you're going to be successful. I'm sorry, Rick Carlisle, not Rick Adams. And I was successful in the Rick Adams too, but I mean, it was fun because I was in my prime. I played well, and Baron, you always look back at your favorite season, wherever that was. That's the one. That's the one that counts.
Yeah, that's the one you remember.
For sure. Now, with the season tipping off tonight, I mean, I'm sure you guys start getting antsy. You want to hoop. You want to ball right now. You see everyone, all your peers, all your friends out there hooping. So, especially in 2020, it's hard to get a game in. It's where can you even play? I know that Metta, you're working on something right now that will help solve that problem. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, man. X vs. X Sports. Follow us on all the socials at XVSX Sports. But I became frustrated towards the end of my career because I still wanted to play. And sometimes you might be good enough, but you don't own the teams and you don't own the league. So when they say you out of here, you out of there. But I love the game a lot. And my last game, I had 18 points in the second half. And, but I was mentoring a lot of the players. So I was still okay. I was still good enough to play in the NBA. But, they went in different directions. So I didn't have nowhere to play. And even overseas, I couldn't even get a job overseas because, it's politics and we never played. A lot of politics. When you're talking trying to get on a professional team, no matter where you go, the agents got the upper hand. So I said, I'm just going to develop a platform. I thought I would be playing on this platform when I was about 36, 37. But as you know, tech, it takes a long time to get it going. So now I'm 41. The platform is here. And it's not only for pros, it's also for recreational players. We got leaderboards. I mean, it's almost similar to fantasy, but you're actually playing the game. You can chat, vibe out, build a community of relationships. So I mean, it's really relationship building. It's community building. I really like it, and get in shape, meet new people. So I'm really excited about it.
I liken it to adult AAU. Now, somebody like myself, I don't have to just wait till like the Sunday runs when all my homeboys are like drunk and hungover. I can actually find some like-minded people who want to play basketball and smell good in the morning. You know what I mean?
For sure.
But
That's
the cool
great.
thing about that is like you can find a crowd. You can it's basically like you can meet up and you can structure a game, correct?
Yeah, you can meet up, structure a game. If you want, you can pay people to play. There's a cash wallet that'll be on the app. You can post videos, and we are going to have live games also. So we're not going to make it live for the user, but we'll have games that we say, okay, your game will be live. You just got to have the right phones or technology to go live. With OBS streaming and everything. So I mean, and I've been really inspired by not only my son, Jerron Artest, who's a computer science major at Irvine, but like Barron, who's been he's the leader athlete in tech. Iguodala is also one of the leaders in tech. Those two names are they're synonymous with NBA and tech, right? So if you're paying attention as an athlete, especially an NBA player, you're going to be watching what these guys are doing. And over the years, it's been so inspiring, to see what these guys are doing. And it gives you confidence like, oh, wow, we can actually build companies too, right? So somebody like myself, I've been really inspired by those guys. And even the young guys coming up, all these young guys getting into business. But Barron's the number one name when you talk about NBA player, technology, business, production, right? We're trying to Barron getting it in, and I'm just happy to be able to to be on the same team.
We on the same team, man. I'm excited. I'm excited to take this show to one of the events and one of the X versus X kind of the live tournaments that you're talking about doing. And I see that you opening up semi-pro. Talk about semi-pro basketball, because that's exciting. I think I want to get on with that.
I think semi-pro is big because when you look at America, there's only 450 spots in the league, right? Then you got the G League, which is really hard to get in. Now, you go overseas, but do you want to really leave your family? So I feel like there's no excuse for American semi-pro level or overseas division level. There's no reason why we can't have it here. I feel like we're not putting in the effort in marketing the leagues, marketing the players so the players can get a little check. When you're talking about $30,000 a year for a player, $15,000. That's not a lot of money if you put effort into marketing and get these sponsors and these companies and corporations to back American semi-pro level sports. Yeah. So, we're going to be on the forefront. I'm going to play in the league, and you got a lot of celebrities that can play also. So, if you go to my website, if you go to the Twitter and the Instagram, you'll see some of the celebrities playing. And I think semi-pro basketball is necessary. And some athletes, they graduate and they don't have nowhere to play. And even though they got a degree, they play basketball, so they don't really have nothing. All they know is sports. So I feel like we need to give them an outlet, especially as they find themselves trying to figure out what's going to be next in their career after they get out of college. And you look at some of the pros. Some of the pros still want to play, and they have nowhere to play, right? So semi-pro is a great skill level.
Cool, that's dope. Well, it's amazing what both of you guys have done post your basketball career in the tech space, in creating content, in helping to solve these problems that are out there that, people just want a ball and find more opportunities for them. So everyone should definitely check out xversusxsports.com. More information is posted up there and available. And I know it's planning to launch in early 2021. So we can't wait to see what happens with that. And, the NBA season starts in less than an hour, which is amazing. I know you guys are fired up about it. It's amazing. Now, I want to bring everyone in for this conversation because the season starts with a huge matchup. We got the Nets versus the Warriors. We have Kevin Durant making his Brooklyn Nets debut, going up against his former team, the Golden State Warriors. Now, I want to open this up to everyone, and maybe we'll start with BD and with Metta. Is this going to be, what version of KD are we going to see? We haven't seen him on a basketball court in 554 days. Is this going to be MVP KD, or is it going to take a while to get him back to where he was with the new teammates, with new environment, and just being back on a basketball court. It's been a long time. BD and Metta, what do you guys think?
I think he's back. You know what I'm saying? I think KD's back. He looks good. I feel like he's gonna have an MVP type season. 500 days of rest. Ready to go.
Yeah, a lot of rest.
I mean, to me, he is the natural, right? He's the natural. He's actually, like, when you look at his build, right, and the way he's built for basketball. You know what I mean? And his skill set, and I mean, it's KD. You know what I mean? If he can run up and down the court, no matter if it's, he's 15% slower, he's still KD. You know what I mean? Like, this dude has so much natural, God-given basketball ability as far as scoring the ball. And when you look at the East, like, man, he gonna tear them apart, right? Because, he can play the 5. If they play him at the 5, you know what I mean? It's gonna be a problem. When you look at the cast of characters and talent that he got around him, you can hide him in so many. That's what made him great in Golden State, is that, you looking at Steph, you looking at Clay, but Draymond got the ball, and then you forget, like, damn, the best player in basketball or the best scorer in basketball is right there. Boom. You know what I mean? And he can get his own money. You know what I mean? He can go out and he can wheel and deal, and he can get his own money against a guard, center, forward. It don't matter. Most unguardable person that I've seen, since I've been around the game.
Yeah, he's extremely tough to guard. I remember when it was 2010 and we beat them in the playoffs, and I was like, I'm so happy I got rid of him early, because ain't no way I'm gonna deal with that when he get older. And sure enough, he started cooking.
Sure. Yeah, he's gonna be a problem.
I never forget. I ripped him like 4. I think he was a rookie, right? And I had to guard him. I ripped him like 4 times in a row. And he, when you look at a vet, like, oh man, like, who is this dude? Came back the end of the season. We was in Golden State. He had 28. I was like, damn, dude. I'm glad. we don't have to play against him again.
I know.
He was just like, he was gonna figure it out. You know what I mean? But I was like, why is this 7-footer handling the ball? They was playing him at guard early in the year, and I was like, man, no way. Right at the end of the year, he was like behind the back, pull up. He ain't got into his pocket. What you think, Trey?
Man, honestly, no minutes restriction. He ready to go. I think this is going to be a big year for him. Obviously, he has a supporting cast, so he doesn't have to do it all. I'm excited, man. Like Metta said, man, he had damn near 500 days off. So, and rest is so important, man, that, sky's the limit. 72 games. Playing with Kyrie, could pass the pill, give it to another guy like Spencer Dinwiddie to get buckets. They're gonna run it up, especially this is his first time playing the Eastern Conference. So, playing at the power forward position too, which is like positionless on the East.
But I want to talk about the Nets too, because you got KD and he, everybody like, okay, KD back, Kyrie back. You know what I mean? It's a lot of like coming back. You know what I mean? There's a lot of dudes that's like back, and you got a new coach, and you got a new system. Buster probably chime in, Paige chime in as well. How important is chemistry gonna be for the Brooklyn Nets this year?
I mean, well, I can pass it off after I give my answer, but pretty much chemistry is key. I mean, the Lakers have the best chemistry right now in the league. You can't put nothing up against that. And I think that's the thing about putting these teams together. You and Metta could have played together, and if you're just now joining in the middle of the season, you still got to get a feel. It's not just off of athletic. It's about, the flow. How many shots it's going to take? You know what I mean? If I run this set, who's going to respond this way? Who gets going? Finding a high hand, not going against it. And with these two, obviously, it's probably been a long time in coming with Kevin and Kyrie playing together. They still got to make it work playing with this unit that has been kind of building up, because they were the castaways for a minute before they got these guys acquired in the free agency. So, maybe Paige can help me out on that and elaborate on it.
Yeah, I think you guys know, obviously, that how big chemistry is going to be for these two guys. But you're talking about two of the best guys in the NBA in general, and I think it might take a little time for their legs to get underneath them. Comfortable, but there's almost this unique set of circumstances for these guys who haven't liked dealing with the media and haven't liked dealing with the extra pressure, right? A lot of this stuff that's happened off the basketball court. And because of the world and where we are, they might actually be able to have more focus on just playing basketball and not have a lot of the extra stuff that's going on, because there won't be as much media access and there won't be as many people there to you're talking about. That's been these two superstars problem hasn't really meant anything that's going on the court. So I think where we are right now almost sets up well for them to just focus and play ball, right? And I think that's one of the things that if you could take away a positive from what's happening and how they're going to start off, I think they have a unique opportunity to kind of just play and not have as much disruption to what they want to get accomplished.
For sure. Well, the ball's about to be tipped in less than an hour, and they're making their Nets debut, Kyrie and KD, playing together against the Golden State Warriors, Kevin's former team. Now, Steph Curry is also making a return of sorts. We haven't seen him on the basketball court in about a year because of the injury he suffered last year. So I want to know, Steph Curry, can he lead the Golden State Warriors back to the playoffs? There'll be no Draymond Green tonight. Obviously, no Klay Thompson this season. They added Kelly Oubre. It's going to look a lot of very different than the last Warriors team we saw. Pavy, what do you think about Steph Curry for this season, both from a fantasy basketball standpoint and for the Golden State Warriors?
Well, I own Steph, and this year. One of the reasons one of the reasons why I think that he'll have to have an MVP caliber season for the Warriors to do what they want to do. Like, I don't think it's quote unquote over for this team this year. I still think that they can make a conference finals run. I don't think it's bad. I also think picking up Wiseman is great. I think that a guy like him, if he can rebound, catch lobs, and at least intimidate people from coming in to the paint, he'll be fine. But I don't think this team is like bad. I mean, Oubre's playing for like a contract. This is his final year. I'm a believer in Andrew Wiggins. I know people think Wiggins is bad. I don't believe that. I don't think you can average 20 in the NBA as a 21-year-old and be bad. Now, obviously, you may be the number one pick and you want more, but I don't think he's bad. I think they have a good cast of guys, and I'm also like picking up Brad Wanamaker off the bench. Like, even when he was in Boston, I thought he was a good, steady backup point guard. So, I mean, I don't see any reason obviously the Lakers are like the class of the West, but after that, I don't see why they can't make the conference finals. I mean, we talking about two-time, MVP, and I actually think at some of his later years, actually probably 2018 was actually his best year to me. When I looked at what he did on the court, I just thought that his decision making was at a different level. So yeah, I don't see why they can't be a playoff team, and I don't see why they can't possibly make the conference finals.
Pavy, I want to shake the table a little bit.
What's up?
Okay.
Please,
I want to shake the table.
Please shake the table.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm shaking the table because his light-skinned brother is not in the backcourt with him, and he is very used to playing with him. Klay Thompson, that is who I'm talking about. And obviously, you're playing with a bunch of guys. Obviously, Barron and Metta both mentioned chemistry and Paige as well. That's huge. And you look at the depth on the bench, it's a bunch of new guys. I can't say that Kent Bazemore is improving. I can't say that Brian Wanamaker is not proven, but they're not the same team that they've had. Draymond Green is going to be out for opening night. We don't know how long his foot is going to be bothering, but it's also not championship or bust for this team. Again, these are good problems that they actually have. If they're not in the top 8 of this team, they still can fall into the draft and get a top 3 guy and get Klay back.
And have
Minnesota's pick. So at the end of the day, it's not really banking on the success. Obviously, people always say who's better, Steph Curry or Damian Lillard. That is going to be the more focal point on people watching how Steph performs without Klay in the lineup with him.
I think Steph is going to be fine, man. Steph is just like, I always thought he was MVP, for a long time. Even when Durant got there, I always thought Steph would have won regardless. was no knock on Durant, but I just felt like Steph didn't really need anyone else. You know what I mean? I feel like Steph is just, I mean, he's really exceptional. I mean, I can see why he didn't get MVP in the finals because you got Durant. But one would argue that he would have won the finals anyway. You know, like I said, no knock on Durant. I really think Durant's amazing. But, you know, I think Steph, he's kind of like in a class of his own for the most part.
I mean, I personally think the main thing for them is health, though. I mean, obviously, you know, Draymond in recent years hasn't been the most healthy. Steph really has never been the most healthy. But me personally, I can't see those two guys, mainly Steph, being healthy, having a full healthy 72, 65 game season, and they just don't make the playoffs. I just personally, in my opinion, can't see that.
I think the Warriors just gonna have to change the way they play, right? You're not gonna see, you know, the run or what you consider the run and gun Warriors, kind of like this evergreen, free flowing, like get hot, you know, blowout. They're gonna have to play, you know, they're gonna have to play in like some type of pattern, some type of system, right? Because you don't have the same freedom that you have on the perimeter, right? And your number one guy in Steph Curry, you're gonna have to get him open, right? And so, you know, having Wiggins, having Kelly Oubre, having Wiseman, this is the first time the Warriors got, you know, three big guys. You got Draymond, you got Pascal, you got Wiseman, you got Looney, right? It's going to be a lot of picks and, you know, Steph only needs, you know, a short amount of time and distance. So I can see him, you know, playing some two with Wanamaker there. I can see him also, you know, them trying to hide him in the offense off the screens, double screens, you know, dribble handoffs, things like that. Because one thing about Steph Curry, he knows how to move without the ball. And so I think we're going to see more of that this year, you know, him coming off down screens, things like that, just being an off the ball playmaker, because that's where the Warriors are going to need, you know, a lot of those 3-pointers to come from, you know, to come from him and not so much from his creativity, because teams, I think, are going to push him to the basket, you know what I mean, and have him continue to challenge big guys. And, you know, now you're not kicking it out, you know, to Klay Thompson, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, you know, it'll be different, but I think he'll still be able to get, you know, his 25, 28 points. It's just going to look a lot different than it did before.
Well, I'm just excited that Steph is back, that KD is back, that Kyrie's back too, because they're three of the most exciting players to watch in the game, and it'll be exciting to watch them tip off the NBA season tonight. But that precedes maybe the marquee matchup of the night, the Western Conference Finals matchup that we thought we were going to get and we didn't have last season, between the Lakers and the Clippers, the Battle of LA. The Clippers, when we last saw them, they disappointed us, getting defeated 3 games in a row by the Denver Nuggets. And now they have to stand there during ring night, the ring ceremony for the Lakers, and watch the Lakers raise another championship banner to the rafters. So, guys, for this game, this is year 18 of LeBron James, and this man is a superhero. I mean, he is superhuman. He has not shown any decline. His game continues to evolve. He led the league in assists last year. When will he ever show a decline? Is this the year, or you can't bet against LeBron? What do you guys think? I know Jerry isn't here right now, but he's rocking with him as the 3rd overall pick in the draft. What do you guys think? Paige?
Yeah, it's less about him declining and more about his game changing, right? We talked about this a little bit earlier, like him evolving and being able to rely on some of these other younger guys who he can, you know, pass the ball to, leading the league in assists. So I expect a big year from AD, and I expect a big year from LeBron, right? The only thing you get a little concerned about is the small amount of time, right? I think it was 71 days between the end of the season and the start of this new season. That will impact you more when you're a guy who's over 35, right? I think that's where I get a little concerned about when you're used to the routine and you're used to, you know, doing the hyperbaric chamber, getting your body all the way back to where it needs to be. He didn't get the same amount of rest, didn't get the same amount of time, right? Those are things that impact you, especially when you're talking about an older guy. So might have to rely on his guy AD a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
I think LeBron has been smart about resting himself too.
Yep.
You know, because you think about it, like LeBron ain't afraid to do a Shaq thing. Not he's really getting hurt, but LeBron knows how to rest now, and I think LeBron on good rest is, you got to think this dude's the smartest person in basketball. Period. Point blank. This dude is the smartest person in basketball. He takes care of his body. He knows how to. So, I think that he will be there when it's time to be there, just like he was for, the bubble, right?
Yeah, I think LeBron. Go ahead. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, I was going to say the same thing that BD said. He's, extremely intelligent. I think he has about, I would say, maybe 3 more years, maybe more, but definitely he can last 3 more years because he's, he doesn't need to be 100%. Like the BD said earlier, LeBron can be, at 60% and still start and just, kind of stay on the wing, just be a 3-and-D guy, and still be successful, and win because he's really intelligent.
And just be like another coach out there too. Like you said, the smartest player in the game.
Yeah.
I mean, he just sees things that everyone else doesn't.
I would love to see him play or coach, like really play and coach.
He's been doing that.
Right?
He's been doing that without the title. But yeah. Trey, what were you about to say?
Oh, I was just going to say Christmas came early for him last year. It was the gift that kept giving. I mean, you get Anthony Davis. I mean, you don't have to pass the keys. LeBron is already saying that, hashtag not a scorer, pass first, whatever. You know what I mean? That just elevates and rests his body, and he's able to still be effective again. Like Metta said, he could play 3 more years and still put fear into players' hearts because on that wing at any moment, he can contribute. And most of LeBron's teams that are successful are surrounded by shooters. He gets that much attention. So when you get that attention on that side of the court, it's an easy skip for the a knockdown shooter that's shooting 40% or above, and he doesn't have to put too much pressure on his body. And then now with AD playing at the level that he's playing, which I think this is going to be an MVP level season for him, he's in go mode. He's looking to take 5 3-points a game. You know what I'm saying? And then also he's just gonna annihilate whoever's down there in the post for him. So whenever LeBron wants to turn it on, he can. And then if not, just let AD go to work and get all the touches. So that's buying you.
I mean, and AD gonna get all the shots, right? Yep, AD gonna get all the shots. And who drafted AD?
Well, yeah, Paige Critter didn't have a chance to steal that pick from you. That was a good one.
Who drafted AD? I wonder who drafted. Man, y'all doing all this great talk and all this. We breaking down the game and Metta, dog. It's all they talked about me like a dog at the beginning of this show. I had this terrible thing, but they keep referencing my guys.
All right. Well, we're going to work out a deal. I'm putting a Cole Anthony package together. You need more rookies on your squad. I'm going to send them over for Anthony Davis. Okay.
Please, send me Cole Anthony. Who else want to? Paige, do you want to trade me? Do you have KD? Didn't you take KD, Paige?
No, I did not.
KD in a second.
Your boy Zach's
Who has KD?
Zach.
You want to trade KD? I take KD too.
I'm open.
Paige took Booker from me. She took Devin Booker from me. And I want John Wall too. Give me who got John Wall?
I got John Wall. Man, I'll give you right now, John.
All right, well, yeah, come on, man. Let me get that.
No, hold up, time out. We can't just
all right. As a commissioner, we're not going to do that. I already said. Stop it. And Metta, you're here now. I'm offering a co-suit to you if you want to be co-commissioner with me. But at the moment, we not trading the Baron, bro. We need some policing.
All right. Hey, if he wants to make it, it's 2 consenting adults making a trade. At the end of the day.
Now, I mean, come on, commish. You acting like Roger Goodall.
hey, I'm Davis third.
I'm gonna call you Trey Goodall.
You guys were talking about Anthony Davis,
and he's gone.
Right. We're talking about Anthony Davis. Do you guys think? Trey, I know you think he can. We've seen him go from an all-star to a superstar. Does he have another gear? Can this be his MVP season? And I know BD thinks so because he's got him too. Pavy, what do you think? Is there another gear left? Can he be the MVP of the NBA?
I mean, yes. I mean, I think the funny thing about AD that we all forget is he's 27 years old. I don't even think he's actually in basketball prime yet. And then also even just the way last year ended, with hitting the big shot on like Denver, finally winning the championship. I know the one thing about AD that people always the one knock on him was he didn't win. Well, now he's won. Now he's really playing with house money. And yeah, I definitely think that he can still get better. I don't think he's anywhere near reach the ceiling of what he can be. I think he can be a defensive player of the year. Some people thought he should have won that last year. He did not think he could be MVP. I think he could be the best player in the league on both sides of the ball. Arguably already is right now. So yes, to answer your question, yes, I do.
I could see that too. I could see it. I could see an MVP season from him leading the Lakers to a championship and sort of it's still LeBron's team, but maybe AD becomes the MVP. He gets to shine even more than he did last year.
I think he does. I think he does, right? Because you got to think, he been riding shotgun with LeBron, right? So he done rode shotgun, like Pavy said, all the way to the finals, right? And so when LeBron didn't have it, he had it. You know what I mean? And however he needed to get it. So now it's it's time for some MVP sauce. You feel what I'm saying? He is 27. He can go average 15 rebounds, 4 blocks, 5 assists, 30 points. Easy. He can go get that, because he done learned the way. You know what I mean? The king done walked them all the way to the throne. You know what I mean? They're going to get their ring. You feel what I'm saying? And now AD okay, I know what it feels to be a king. You know what I'm saying? And he was proving himself, right? He was playing. Because a lot of times you playing and you don't really know where your ceiling is until somebody kind of can ride with you and guide you there. You know what I mean? Right. And I think now is just you can tell in how he's talking. You can see how even the Phoenix game when he was saucing up Pay squad in Phoenix, it was just he's arrived, right? I'm excited about his arrival, and that's why I drafted him with my first pick in the season.
All right. Enough about Barron's great pick. We know that was. But now another guy that Zach took is Paul George. And when we last saw Paul George, he disappointed us. He was a disappointment in the bubble. Obviously, the Clippers let everybody down from their expectations of hopefully making the NBA Finals or at least the Western Conference Finals. And now they're facing the Lakers as they begin their championship, defending their championship run. So, Metta, what do you think? Paul George, he just signed that big extension. He just got paid. Is he going to return to form, or is what we saw in the bubble from Paul George kind of more of what we should expect?
I mean, I think everybody go back to that shot that Paul George, missed, and I think that's just life. You can't win without failing. You can't. It's impossible. You must fail bad. And he is still young. I think. I don't think he might be 31 or something like that. And he's a two-way player, and he's paid. So when he was in Indiana, he was trying to get paid, and he was playing a little bit more aggressively on defense and offense. And he got a little check, so he might have checked out mentally a couple aspects of the game. But when you look at it, he's still a solid player. He does have a lot of pressure on him because he's trying to win a title. He wants to win a title, so we know this. But it's really hard when you got LeBron on the other side and AD on the same team. So he's just trying to figure out his way. I think his best bet would be to just play the game to the best of his ability, and don't necessarily think about the title so much. Think about your performance, your output. I think he's still a great player. There's a lot of competition. I mean, you got Luka, who's a ride. You got AD, who's back. KD's back. He got a lot of competition. So if I was him, I would just embrace it. I wish I was coaching him because I would be getting this motherfucking ass. But,
Metta, what would you say to him? Metta, if you were coaching him, what would you say to light a fire under PG's ass?
Well, I love coaching. I'm not coaching in the NBA for a lot of reasons, but I coach a lot of different people, and I bring that heat. bring that heat.
Well,
you can't really you
Well,
got
he
no way
needs
to
some
go
fire.
before it. But
Yeah,
you know, I
he
really
needs
think
some
he's a solid
fire.
player. I like him.
Yeah, he needs some fire. He needs a coach to allow him to play without doubt. Right?
Mhm.
If you watch him play in the bubble, he was playing and he was thinking. Right? You cannot play and you cannot think if you are a player. If you're a player, you play. You know what I mean? But when you're a player and you're playing and you have to think and you're a player, like you have to have a system where you trust the system and the system trusts you. That means there's no doubt, right? That means that you know that when I show up to the game and all I have to do is this, right? If I just do this, then I'm capable of this. If I do this, we're going to win. But I'm capable of this, right? And so when you watch the Clippers, they had no foundation, right? It was just like, fuck it. He get it. Lou Williams, all right, he won the game. Individually, great. Kawhi, yeah, he get it. You know, he win the game. But when you watch them play in the bubble, that was probably some of the worst fucking basketball I've ever seen in my life, dude. It was some of the worst shit that I've ever seen. And it was to me, it was hurtful because you can see the players asking for help, right? Or asking for the autonomy to say, fuck it, let us just play, right? And there was something that was holding that back. You know what I'm saying? And so I think for someone like Paul George coming into this season, I think with Ty Lue, he probably recognized that and put him in a place where he can just play. Don't think, put you over there, just use him. You know what I mean? Because like Metta was saying, like, you know, he's a two-way guy, and the fire that he needs is erase the doubt. Just let him go out there, play with some freedom. You know what I mean? And then he's going to make the right decisions because he's an unselfish player. You feel what I'm saying? But his fire is always going to be, you know, rejected, or his ceiling is going to be capped because his doubt, bro. And then his shoulder. You know, his shoulder was hurt too. So it's man, all that shit gonna play a factor when it's done. Yeah, he just came back from the shoulder surgery, you know, and went to the bubble. So you're trying to do a lot of things, bro. You're trying to do a lot of things to like win one for the team, and the team ain't trying to win shit for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, there's been a lot of talk in the offseason between Paul George and Doc Rivers through various channels about kind of whose fault it was and what happened.
Rivers.
Well, yeah, so you say Doc Rivers. Doc said
Rivers.
He was like, Ty Lue was sitting right next to me is what Doc said. So it's not going to be a lot different.
Rivers. Doc Rivers.
It was Doc's
Doc
fault.
Rivers. Doc Rivers.
He
Doc Rivers.
Hey, Barron's on repeat.
Doc
Somebody
Rivers.
help him. Technician.
Somebody mute his mic.
Yeah, he's glitched out right now.
So you're big on Twitter.
Sorry. I had a brain fart.
Yeah, Doc Rivers. Well, he says it's Doc Rivers' fault. Trey, I mean, you're big on NBA Twitter, a part of that conversation. A lot of people have been talking about that. Do you think things are going to be different with Ty Lue as the head coach than it was from Doc Rivers?
More on a player connection probably, but I think he's kind of an extension of, he has his own style and he also comes from the school of Doc. So he'll relate to the players a little differently and have his certain rotations. And I think that was the whole thing of last season, was just guys being, it's like having Barron on my team, and I normally would bring Barron off the bench, but I'm bringing a guy that hasn't really gotten the rotation, and now you're mixing up the flow. And I think it was the inconsistencies where you had deaths in the family, you had guys that were just had to quarantine and was just throwing off the mix and got punched in the mouth by the Nuggets. So, you know, I think that they'll have a different focus. Obviously, Kawhi shows up most of the time. You said what?
They should have won that series.
They definitely should have won that series. No excuses about it. And you know, obviously, if we know what playoff P does, then he needs to prove it. I mean, he's the new $200 million man, not to count his pockets. But when you're getting paid like that in Los Angeles, you have to prove it. Hopefully, the Clippers fans light a matchup under him, because if it was the Lakers nation, it'll be a little bit more difficult. They probably would have ran him out. So, you know, overall, like I said, his shoulders are quote unquote healthy 100%. And now he'll get a chance to run with his team fully with no excuses. So we'll have a close eye on what the Clippers have done. They added Ibaka. They added Luke Kennard, who got paid tremendously yesterday.
And you know what they didn't add?
A guard.
Fucking point guard.
Right.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was one of the issues with the Clippers when last season, when they faced adversity like they did in those 3 games in a row. It was almost a carbon copy game where they were up big and then things started going bad. Who was the leader? I mean, obviously Kawhi leads by example, but he's not the one bringing everyone together. You know, Metta, when you played, and BD, when you were in the league, if your team faced adversity, you were 2 of the guys on those squads that would bring people together and be that vocal leader and like follow by example, follow my lead. Who does that for the Clippers? You know, like who is their guy that they turn to?
I mean, when you look at Kawhi, no, my bad. I was just saying, like, when you look at Kawhi, he a team player. He learned from, you know, that old Tim Duncan. He learned from Tim Duncan. So Tim is not gonna just, you know, lead above Greg Popovich. Popovich is the main leader, right? So and they're a team player. So Kawhi comes to this new team, he's trying to share. And he needs to be like, listen, I'm the man on this team. And I'm going to let everybody else rock, but I need the ball. It needs to be a definitive leader. It can't be, I'm going to let somebody else win today. You know, if you give somebody else a shot to win, that's great. Like when Kobe would lead, Kobe would say, okay, Matt, I'm going to go to you once every 40 games or something at the end. But for the most part, you know, it's going to be Kobe, right? So I think Kawhi needs to take leadership. That is really Kawhi's fault. I'm gonna put all the onus on him, because if you the man, be the man. Don't put Paul George in a position to all of a sudden now he's the man. Now you got to be the man, and then Paul George, he gonna have to have a conversation with Paul George. I'm running the show, and I need you, right? I need you. Like when Kobe and Powell, Kobe always told Powell he needed him, right? Like, Powell, I need you. And Powell's like, okay. Or Kobe would just take it over, right? So I think Kawhi set it in stone. He said what?
I used to hate when he do that. Start speaking in Spanish to Powell. Come on. That used to piss me off. Then Powell start going on one, we gonna lose.
Oh, amazing.
Oh man!
But I also think that the Clippers have yet to find a leader. Right? You cannot ask people to do things that they're not comfortable doing. Kawhi Leonard leads the way he leads, the way he plays. God damn, I want somebody to get down like Ron. He get down like how you get down, right? But you got to set this dude up. At the end of, you need a point guard. You need a point guard to be like, you know what? We up 17 in Denver. Guess what? It's 12 minutes on the clock. That means we need to get in the bonus. That means somebody needs to get hot. That means we need, it's like they don't have anybody out there on the court who's thinking about time, score, game management, who needs the ball. Like that shit is valuable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they don't have a Draymond Green. Like they need a Draymond Green for their team. You know what I mean? They need a Rondo, right? Rondo was so important to the Lakers and what, you know what I mean? And to the Lakers run, right? You need that leader, right? You need that other leader. And then not one that is just like rah, like a rah guy, you know what I mean? And pull people together. You got to be able to look at this motherfucker and say, hey, bro, can you do it? You know what I mean? And so, Patrick Beverly, and no knock on him, he's a great team guy, right? But if you're looking for Patrick Beverly to be your leader, and then you look at him, he can't get you a bucket. He can't get you an assist. He can't make a play for you. You know what I mean? But he can change the game. When you're in the trenches, he pulling them together.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So they're going to be like, well, shit, dog, like, You got Paul George and Kawhi Leonard listening to each other. You know what I mean? And you got Patrick Beverly as the leader. You know what I'm saying? That's the coach fault, bro.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean that's something where because Patrick Beverly has a big personality. You know how that go, BD. Big personality is always going to take over the room, but sometimes you gotta shut that big personality.
Yeah, you gotta make a layup, motherfucker. That's cool. But if you ain't got no game, right? If you can't go out and go get us the win, right? As that third person, they need a third person, dude. And that third person should be a point guard. It don't have to be a great point guard. It just has to be a good fucking point guard that knows that time, score, game management, and can get a bucket and can run a pick and roll. And
can run.
I'm not like not. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I know. I definitely know. I know from a player perspective. Obviously, you don't want to go too in, but you're giving it from a fan perspective from now in the seat that you're in now, and I definitely get that.
Yeah.
And I thought that definitely the Clippers missed the opportunity of going to get a Rondo, a Schroeder, Derrick Rose. Even breaking the bank and trying to lure over Fred VanVleet. I mean, there's so many guys that they could have lobbied over. There's
so many good point guards, dog.
Exactly.
So many.
I
know.
So the idea of just even being able to set up a guy, because when you get a guy like Reggie Jackson or Patrick Beverly or the guards that they have on the roster, they're more. That's not their strong points. You know what I'm saying? And if they're on another roster, So hopefully down the line they look at it and they can trade. But at the moment, I mean, I think that's still one of their weak spots. Because
they need to go after Lonzo Ball.
Yeah, now that
Lonzo Ball.
That would be a good grid.
They need to go get Lonzo Ball. If they were smart, I'd go get Lonzo Ball.
I like Lonzo a lot.
Yeah.
His confidence is high, shooting the ball pretty well
right now too. Yeah, that's right.
And he's a defender.
The NBA season tips off in just 10 minutes, which is crazy. I'm so pumped about it. So real quick,
I do have a question for Ron.
I want to go through everyone. Yeah, what's up, PD?
I said before we leave, I do have one question with Ron because it is tip-off season. Should I ask it now?
Yeah, ask a question.
All right, Ron. It's opening night, right? Ring ceremony night. I've never won a ring. What the fuck does this night feel like? You know what I mean? Like, usually, like, the main team is probably gonna get blown out. Can you just walk us through? Because as fans, there's a huge disappointment in opening night with the ring ceremony because we feel like you're just happy to get your ring, and we get caught up into the hype. Can you walk us through like what is like that? What were you feeling yesterday and today when you knew you were about to get your ring?
Shit, man, I was just like, I mean, it was a great feeling because as kids, that's all we wanted, that ring. And when we finally got it, and actually Lamar gave me my ring because they had this little format they had. And it was just like, wow, this is what we worked for since we was 8 years old. This is what it came down to, is the actual ring. And, it's a piece of, material, but it's just so symbolic of your career and everything you wanted as a kid. When you had to eat government cheese and government butter and you just working all day and playing basketball on no water, and just like chips in between time. And just like,
hey, I thought Compton was hard. Ron just made Queens.
Man, great feeling, man. I was very grateful.
That's amazing. All right, real quick. Let's do some predictions for tonight. Just go by like real quick. We got Nets, Warriors, Lakers, Clippers. Who's going to win and start the season off going 1-0 with the W? Pavy, why don't you start?
Since I cover the Clippers, I'm going to go Clippers just because I hope it happens. Hope they spoil ring night. And Nets, Warriors, I'm going to go Nets.
Okay, Nets, Clippers. Paige, what do you got?
I'm also going with the Clippers. I think I like a little upset tonight to upset the ring ceremony, and I'm going with the Nets. I think KD shows out.
Okay, Trey, what do you got?
I'm biased. I'm on the Nets beat this year, so go Brooklyn, and I'm gonna roll with the crib. Go Lake Show.
Okay, taking the champs. All right, Zach, we haven't heard from you in a while. Zach, who you like tonight?
I like the Nets in the first game. KD goes off, and I think the Lakers celebrate with a win tonight too.
Okay, and BD, is anyone picking the Warriors? Former Warrior, who you rocking with?
I'm picking the Warriors.
Okay.
I'm picking the Warriors tonight, just because I think that usually it's going to be a lot of hype in Brooklyn. It's going to be a lot of hype. I'm going to take the Warriors, and then I'm going to take the Lakers because I think the Lakers need to send a statement, and AD is going to come out and have a monster game.
Yeah, I could see that too. BD, did you play which game this week? Are you playing AD? Are you playing him in tonight's game?
The next one, Minnesota.
Oh, good. Then I hope AD goes off tonight. I hope he goes off tonight.
Me too.
He will the whole season. Don't worry.
He's going to rest against Minnesota. He's going to take it easy against that one. Okay.
And then I'll just pick the next game.
All right. That's good to know.
Oh, yeah. How does that work? What if they rest a guy on the day we pick him? Can you move him?
This is why we have Zach here. Zach,
exactly. So you'll move them over to the next game. It locks in on the game you pick once the game starts. However, if they don't play a single minute, you then are able to move them afterwards.
Oh, okay. All right. That's good if you drafted Kawhi Leonard. Load management. Exactly. You're going to be doing a lot of shifting around. That's good to know. Okay. Thank you, Zach. A big thank you to Metta World Peace and to everyone who tuned in tonight. We really appreciate it. Now, you only saw a handful of our teams from our All-Star Fantasy League. You saw all of ours that are up here. Pavy, we didn't get to check out your team yet. Buster's team, we haven't seen yet. Yeah, we're scared of your team, Pavy. Yeah, we don't want to see that, But everyone, you can check out all of the lineups on the SLiC Instagram and social media. We'll be posting all of our squads and comment with who you think is going to win, who's got the best team, and also let us know who you think has the worst team out there too, because we're going to be managing them all season long, so we want to keep the trash talk going. Be sure to check out X versus X. It's coming out the end of January at xversusxsports.com. Metta World Peace. A big thank you to the Sleeper app. Make sure everyone downloads Sleeper to play, that manage their fantasy. Fantasy football is winding up right now, as we heard at the top of the show. BD and Paige and everyone talking trash and bragging about their prowess when it comes to everything fantasy football. But fantasy basketball is beginning right now, and you still have a couple weeks to get in on the fun at the Sleeper app. It is still available to do that. And make sure to follow all of SLiC's social platforms throughout the season to stay plugged in. We're going to keep you up to date on this podcast and on everything coming through the pipeline when it comes to fantasy basketball. Make sure to comment. It's going to be fun. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Trey, Paige, Pavy, Zach, and, of course, BD. Send us out, BD. Any last thoughts?
I want to see these lineups. I'm like, yo, where is the graphics for the lineups? I done set to the show. I want to see who I'm playing. Who else got a team? But I guess.
There you go.
Oh,
there you go.
We go.
There you go.
Ask and you shall receive. These are two more of our squads right here. We got Adonis Cavalier anchored with Trey Young and Drummond. Got a lot of assists and rebounds right there.
I don't know what font we're using, but we can just leave those up. So after we log off, I can be able to scout people's team because I'm about to start making me some trades, baby.
That's right.
I'm not listening to you, man.
I'll be monitoring very closely to see what trades are happening.
Offline, dog.
All right, I'm ready. You can have Cole Anthony. Whatever. We'll make this happen. I like it. We'll report the trade to the commission. All right. Hey, thanks, everybody. Good luck this fantasy season and enjoy the NBA season tipping off in 4 minutes. I cannot wait. Thank you all for being a part of this. BD, thank you for bringing us all together.
Shout out Can. Shout out our sponsor, Sleeper. Shout out Can. Shout out Super Coffee. Shout out whoever else wants to sponsor this. You know what I mean? Look at all this lovely talent. Come on, who want to
Thank you, duct tape.
Oh, shout out to Tape. Who
Yeah,
else?
they got duct tape.
Man.
Anyone. That's right.
If you want to sponsor, we take all sponsors. You know what I mean?
Appreciate it.
Paige got a brand, and she got to be a little bit more protected. But me, I'm taking on all sponsors. Okay, whatever it is, we need that money going into 2021.
Get that money, BD. Get that money, BD.
Who got game?
Because he's paying all those fantasy sports debts. Because he's going to owe us all a lot when this season is done. That is for sure. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. We're going to be coming to you throughout the season for more talking trash, talking fantasy basketball, talking everything sports lifestyle in the culture.